Good evening, everyone. Today we have a lecture about data analysis and interpretation. First, we will introduce these subjects. Data analysis and interpretation are central stage in research process. After collecting data, the researcher must organize, analyze, and interpret it in order to answer research questions, test hypotheses, and draw meaningful conclusion. According to John Criswell, data analysis involves preparing and organizing data, with interpretation involves making sense of results and explaining their significance. So we can say data analysis and interpretation are foundational stage in the research process. They enable researchers to transform raw data into meaningful, useful information. So after data collection, it is not sufficient simply to present the data. Rather than it must be carefully to organize and examine and explain it in order to answer research question. So while interpretation is focused on explaining the significance of these findings in relation to the research objective and existing theories. So these processes play a crucial role in ensuring that researcher findings are valid, reliable, and meaningful. Without a proper analysis and interpretation, data remains informative and cannot be contribute to knowledge or decision making. So, if we begin with data analysis and we want to define it, we can say that is the process of systematically applying statistical and logical techniques to describe, summarize, and evaluate data. It includes organizing raw data, cleaning and preparing data, applying analytical techniques, and identifying patterns and relationships. So in simple terms, data analysis transforms raw data and meaningful information. We have type of data analysis. We have three types. First one is quantitative data analysis. This type deals with numerical data and uses statistical techniques. They use common method, tools, and purpose. Common method like descriptive statistics like mean, average, median, standard deviation, and fundamental statistics like correlation, regression, and t-test, and INOVA. Tools use that IPM, SPS, statistics, and Excel and Reuthon. Their purpose to test hypotheses, measure relationship between variables, and generalize finding. The second type is a qualitative data analysis. This type is focused on non-numerical data, such as interview, observation, text, coding, labeling data, categorizing, identifying theme analysis. So according to Criswell, a qualitative analysis involves making sense of the text and image data by identifying patterns and themes. Its purpose to understand meaning, explore experience, and interpret social phenomena. We have the third type that he mixed between two types, the qualitative and quantitative. They combine this approach to provide a more complete understanding of research problem. Then we have a step in data analysis. We have 5 steps. Step 1 is data preparation, organize data and transcript, interview qualitative, entering data into software. The second step, data cleaning, this handling missing values and removing error, checking consistency. The third step is coding, especially with the qualitative, assuming that label to data segment and grouping similar idea. The fourth step, the data analysis procedures. In quantitative research, use a statistical test and generate table and graphs. But in qualitative research, they identify patterns and develop them. Step 5, researching results like tables, charts, and narrative. So, we will move to interpretation. If we ask what does mean interpretation, we can say it's the process of explaining the meaning of analyzed data and drawing conclusion from it. It involves explaining result, linking finding to theory, and comparing with previous study. In simple term, that analysis mean what did you find, but interpretation, what does it mean? The step in data interpretation. We have first one is explain result. What do the numbers and theme index? 2. Link it to research question. Do the result answer the question? 3. Connecting the to theory. Do findings support or contradict theory? 4. Comparing with the previous study. Our result consists with real research. 5. Drawing conclusion. What can be concluded? And 6. Identifying complexion. Like why are these results is important. So we can say important of data analysis and interpretation in these things in simple terms. They are essential because they are cover data into knowledge and provide evidence-based and conclusion. They support decision making and ensure research validity. So without analysis and interpretation, research finding remain meaningless raw data. We have example applied to motivation research. The topic is student motivations. Analysis conclude with mean motivation source, run correlation between motivation and achievement. Interpretation, high motivation is associated with better performance. This suggests motivation play a key role in learning success. Now we have key principle for good interpretation. First, we have be object, avoid bias. 2. Base conclusion on evidence. 3. Avoid overgeneralizations. 4. Clearly explain result. And 5. Support interpretation with theory. We have the source that we use it to this subject, data analysis and interpretation. We have 4 sources like what you see in the screen. Now we will move to conclude this subject. So data analysis and interpretation are a critical competence of the research process that enable researchers to transform raw data into meaningful knowledge. While data analysis focuses on organizing and examining data using appropriate techniques, interpretation provides a vital role in answering research questions. So, testing hypotheses and drawing evaluate conclusion. Without this process, research will be lack clarity and purpose. Therefore, effective data analysis and interpretation are essential for ensuring the accuracy and reliability and overall success of any research question. Here we will finish our lecture about this subject, data analysis and interpretation. And thank you for listening.